I guess just another big divisional opponent today. You guys are kind of in the middle of a stretch of facing a lot of divisional opponents. Just how do you kind of face these matchups where you're playing really well and facing teams in your division?
Well, we got to continue to play well. That's probably it. Thought we were a lot better defensively last game. Didn't give up very many scoring chances, 5-on-5, and just tighter with our game, so that was good. But you got to, you have to do the work every day, and so our guys got to be ready to go at 3 o'clock today. So it's a big division game, like you said.
Chris is on the verge of that 30-goal threshold again. You've coached against him a lot. What have you learned about coaching him this year that kind of makes him kind of go as a player?
I think just how talented he is at scoring goals. He's got a great shot. He's phenomenal around the net. I think you appreciate that even more when you see it on a daily basis.
Does Adam kind of look like the Adam Fox of pre-injury now after this recent stretch?
Yeah, I mean that injury is long gone. That's rearview mirror stuff. So he's played a lot of games since that point. He's playing well, but yeah, he looks good out there.
And what's your plan for goaltender tonight?
Shesty played today.
Sean Couturier, you coached him his first year in the NHL. What do you remember from him as an 18-year-old?
He was really just got named captain here. I'm really happy to see that. I was at the draft when he got drafted and spent a lot of time with him at a young age and counted on him for some big minutes as a checking role and played him against some good players. And he's been a really good pro for a lot of years, and now I think a great call to be the captain of this team. Not being here in a while, just from what I know about him in the past, he's a fantastic kid that plays hard, works hard, does the right things, and it's nice to see somebody like that get rewarded and become the captain of the team.
As someone who knew him when he was 18 years old, is this kind of expected that he would turn into this kind of player and also someone who would be a leader and a captain?
I mean, you could see that he was a mature kid back then. I have not been around for a long time, so I can't speak to the inner workings of their room, but if you had told me that when I left here years ago, I would probably say that doesn't catch me as too much of a surprise.
You used him in a very specific role. You said, against the checking line center, he's kind of developed into a 30-goal guy.
Yeah.
Did you see the roots of that offensive ability maybe start to take hold?
I think the offensive ability is always there, but to come in at a young age and start cracking the likes of the lineup that we might have had on the first line or the second line, there's you have to find a role and find a niche on the team. But the offense for me has always been there. He's always been a guy that's produced, and I think over time you start to develop that and embrace that even more. But oftentimes there's been players that have come in and they've started down more in a role where they have to check and do the right things, and it was clear to me early that he could do that. He was a smart defensive player as well as being offensively talented, and it doesn't surprise me that he's gone on to be a great offensive player as well as a good defensive player.
You met him at the draft, you just said. What was maybe your first impression, even just at that moment? I know it's been a while.
Just a really nice young man at the time. He was, is very well spoken and polite, and you get to work with him a little bit and you see, the qualities he has as a person and a player and a professional, and it was just a real positive experience with him.